Okay.
Recording is on.
Yeah. So we've got a bit in the intro that says Mauticon presenters and attendees reflect our amazing community, end users, translators, organizers, executives, marketers, editors, content strategists, designers, developers, and more. So yeah, so we sort of mentioned that there.
Yeah, the only difference would be to make it a little bit more explicit, not so much buried in the
maybe
amount of text.
So in the track drop down, we have like 7 tracks that we've specified. So maybe we could put those tracks in the text to say we're planning to structure in these tracks.
Yeah.
And then that gives people some categories.
Yeah.
So I can do that, or one of us can do that. So so add the tracks to the text. Add the tracks to the call for papers text.
Yeah.
And you mentioned inclusivity, so I've got a question right at the bottom, which is, do you consider yourself to be in any of these minority groups based on the open demographics identification? Do you think like we need anything more than that, or?
No, not here. I mean, I think the signaling inclusion is much more important when it comes to attendees. Or maybe in earlier stages of the funnel, but once a potential speaker gets here, he or she doesn't need. I mean, it's good extra encouragement to put it here, but it's not. They already have taken the biggest step here, as opposed to somebody who is looking at its website or is stumbling upon it in social media.
Yeah.
They need more encouragement.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm fine with putting that line or that question into the form.
So other than that, is there anything else you feel? So you mentioned also the timeline.
Yeah.
Did you want to say a bit about that?
No, I just noticed there was some discussion about it, but I didn't really follow it during vacation. So if it's all good.
So again, this is like a double-edged sword. So my question was, is leaving it open until 18th of September too long? Because we're not promoting any of our speakers in that whole time. Maybe if we shortened it to the 4th of September or like sometime so that we give people 2 weeks or this was when we were due to be launching it a while ago, but like that was just my thought. Effectively, we're giving 3 weeks, which is quite a long time.
Yeah, but given that people may be on vacation or so, I'm rather for a longer time than shorter.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, Toby, on the timeline for the speakers? Because I think you've been involved in other conferences, haven't you? You're on mute, sorry.
Normally, okay, yeah. Normally, what I know is that is until after the call for paper has been thoroughly settled before they start doing the announcing of speakers. But maybe if there are some speakers that we have that are selected ahead, maybe we already know these ones are already going to be speaking. Maybe we can go ahead with those speakers before the CFP closes.
And I think that's the like featured speakers that we were talking about earlier, isn't it? Like the keynotes that we could promote during that time. One of the things that I found interesting was people saying, well, yeah, but you also probably will need to extend your call for speakers. Like that just annoys me. If there's a deadline, get your thing in before the deadline.
I think the background is that what if we don't have enough applications? That's just guessing, but
I guess if we don't have enough by the 18th, we can extend to the 25th. and then make the decisions very quickly after the 25th so that we can still maintain the acceptance deadline of the 30th, by which time speakers have said, yes, I'll speak at that time.
Yeah. And the other thing is we might want to ask people specifically to come on board, whether they would like to give a talk. And I'm already out of time. I have this open space coming up now.
Okay.
Which is pity, because the review process, maybe we don't need to clarify today, but the marketing obviously is one thing, and the featured speakers thing want to tackle too. So if you would be able to go ahead, and then maybe
well, I can talk with Toby about how we're going to promote this.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, and we'll catch up with
you.
you.
Sorry, folks. Yeah, very sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right. So this only opened today, so we haven't done any promoting at all. But we also haven't told anyone really publicly about Mauticon.
Okay. So what comes to my mind is trying to use, we can do organic marketing, organic promotions, and then we can also do paid promotions. But for the organic, we can do as well as creating events on our Facebook page and Facebook groups.
Yeah.
With the ticket link to the Mauticon website. We can also create events on the LinkedIn page. Then we can. I actually do that for the Mautic Meetup Lagos coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's really effective. So you can click on the tickets and then it sends them directly to the Mauticon website. So another thing we can also do is to kind of maybe have an hashtag, and then we can do something like have a social media calendar where you can share something, maybe pick a speaker, share one of the speaker every week, and then maybe other things that will be happening during the conference. We can also have something around that to be shared maybe every week for the event. And then we can also look at maybe something to engage the people too. So maybe like asking questions for people to answer or something about Mautic, and then maybe the winner can get a additional swag or can get a free pass to attend Mautic and to attend the conference. So maybe something like we can have maybe 5 slots, maybe every week. You kind of do like a camp, like a pool, or maybe something like a quiz, whereby anybody that gets it right get a ticket to participate in the conference. So for the paid part, we can look at maybe doing a Facebook ad, and maybe if there's any influencer we can also talk to, that might also be a good option. I don't know of one, but it's also something we might want to explore.
Yeah, we can also leverage our sponsors, can't we? Like if we have sponsors that sign up, we can get them to do some social media to promote the event as well.
Yes, sure. We can. And then we can also make use of the Facebook Messenger status stories. That also can also help. So we can do stories. So people check stories. So we can use stories as one of a way of trying to get people to know about the event. Then we can also encourage members in the forum to also share, so that they can share with their own communities too.
You know, we could actually do a banner
but something
ad
around
in the
a weekly, something ongoing. So it won't just be. Oh yeah, that would be great.
I'm pretty sure there's an extension that lets you do advertising, that we could just put a banner up about Mauticon.
Okay, great. So that will make sense to Laura.
Yeah. I agree with you, Toby. We need to have regular a regular cadence to this. We need to plan the content out for the campaign, from now until November, so that we can just kind of like chip away at it and schedule the stuff up in Hootsuite.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Maybe if any other thing, if any other thing comes to mind, maybe I might also share. But for now, so Eklit might want to mention it on his podcast, which I think is already doing that. Then this person, the InNotion newsletter, might also want to mention it in his newsletter. So that by that way, you can get a lot of more people knowing about it.
Okay.
Then there's this collection of I know I see it mostly on Instagram, but I think it's been common a few times. I've seen it on Facebook too. I'm looking for a way if I can get to see it. So there's a way they create a graphics, a kind of collections of graphics that kind of linked each other. So when
like
you view
a
it
big
on the
graphic
screen,
chopped in 6.
Okay, let me see if I can. Yes, like it's divided into 4, but everything is kind of linked together as well. Let me see if I think I see one like that on Facebook recently. Let me see if I can find it. So if you can get graphics too, that is also going to go a long way. That is really, really important. So the branding actually, generally, I think that is the next thing after this now. So trying to get those branding for marketing is also going to be of great use.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay. All right. So I don't know if there's any other thing you would like to add, but for now, that is what I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. There's 2 things, isn't there? Like, well, promoting the event itself is sort of dependent on us having all the tooling in place to take tickets, sales, and stuff like that. We haven't really got that yet. So we were talking this morning in the tooling about whether we're going to use Hey Summit, whether we're going to use something else. So that sort of is dependent on that.
Okay.
But I think then that's like promotion of the event, but promotion of the call for papers can happen anytime, can't it?
Yes. So, but for the tooling, should the tooling really affect the promotion of the event? Since everybody is directed to Mauticon website, and if the tooling is changing, then they will get an email that now tells them where the event is actually going to hold or something.
Yeah, the thing is, if we end up not using Hey Summit, that's what's powering mauticon.mautic.org. So if we ended up moving to a different platform, we'd have to change that underlying tool. So that's why I'm just raising that as a potential thing.
Okay.
So
I'm just looking at its API docs.
Hey.
And hello.
Okay.
And it's JSON REST API, so like not rocket science.
Okay.
And I just dropped out of the call with the people from Rocket Chat and from Vertly. And it looks positive to become an open source collaboration where we can lose the Firebase and replace that with the asynchronous engine, which is already in Rocket Chat, which can easily add the missing components for the chat, like per room, and as well as you're streaming to a bunch of people, you also want to include a chat. And soon, I hope that we get, at least I get some NDA or whatever, and get access to what Vertly has been doing in their SaaS product. So we can take a look at the total architecture roadmap and make decisions on how to incorporate parts of that and what needs to be replaced and changed. It was a really good one.
Cool. Oh yeah, I see what you mean now, Toby, by your linked images. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to explain, saying a kind of series of graphics. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 graphics that kind of have some linkage, but they are two different graphics. So like this arrow starts from this first image and then is pointing to the second image. And then there's something like that here too. And then on and on. So I'm just like something is a creativity. I also want to maybe something want to explore or something I might want to try out.
Yeah. Cool. Great.
All right,
Yeah,
Floris, you're saying something?
No, I was muted. I was listening in and looking at your schemas. It's cool.
Okay, great, great. So you saw the screenshot I shared to the Mautic on the working group?
Yeah, of the event that's happening at the moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was talking to Floris. Floris, can you hear me?
Yes, it's that one is currently live.
So the screenshot
Yeah.
So the screenshots I was talking about after the call in the morning for the tooling that one of the events that is currently going on in Nigeria, that they are using something similar to Bitly. I don't know. So I shared the screenshots in the group, just like you requested.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
thanks.
saw it.
Yeah, I've looked at it. Yeah, when I hit the office.
Oh, oh, okay.
But I can't read the URL. Maybe you can paste it that I can join and look around. Would be interesting. The link
Okay,
for that
now,
one.
right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me see if I can join. My internet is quite slow, so please bear with me.
No problem.
So I want to share my screen again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So this is the landing page for the website. So I can click on register and then it takes me to the registration. It takes me to a page where I can be able to see every other thing about the event. So these are the people in charge. Odash, that is 10 times that spam. So once I click on register today, it says ongoing. So it takes me to this one-click sign up where we have Google, Facebook, where I can then go in.
This is
So sorry
something
if my
that
internet
you.
is quite slow.
Oh, I can see. No problem.
Yeah.
This is something that you rented for this. It's like a software as a service, or is it open source, or this floor.bz?
Oh, well, I don't know if it is open source, but I think this is yeah. I don't think it's open source. I think it's a paid platform, but I felt it's like maybe it's a fork from Vertly.
Not sure. I
So
have to look
sorry,
into
my
that.
internet is slow.
No problem, no problem. You gave a good impression, and I'll look into it. And I'll hit back to you later on that because I
Okay,
have to
great.
jump to
So
yet another meeting. Sorry, but really cool that you share
so it
this.
took
It's
me. Can you
interesting.
still see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
the
we can.
landing page it brings me to. So it seems if someone get an invite via email, the person can just put in the code here and then click on join. But I don't have any code, so I just click on sign in with Google, and then it pops up and then gives me the Google sign in option. Okay, great. So can you see screen now?
Yeah.
So I can join. Then it has it has the sponsors and supporters rolling on the right. And then it's going to automatically list all the conferences that is available. Once this finish rolling, so I can then join any of the meeting. But they removed rooms from here. Okay, stage, floor, okay. But it's still rolling. It's taking quite some time.
Yeah.
Still loading. So once finish loading. So sorry, my internet is quite slow, like very, very slow. Okay, great. So yeah, so this okay. After it loads that, it's going to take me to the floor. So the floor is where I can now see information about all the sessions, the ones that have been completed, the one that is currently ongoing, and then also shows me all the speakers. Then there's also a button to chat with speakers, but those buttons I click them, I can't chat because they are grayed out. So it means those speakers have disabled chatting or disabled video call.
It does seem very similar to
Still loading,
Hopin.
still loading, still loading.
Or, I wonder if it might be just a rebranded Hopin.
Okay. I've not used Hopin before. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So all these sessions has been held. This one's in red has been done. So this gray one is the one that is currently live. And then all these blue ones are the upcoming ones. So it puts the time, the name of the session, and then there are tables I can also join with other people. And then to the bottom of the screen, I can see sponsors. I can see the sponsors there. Then there's also booths for people that want to exhibit. Then for the VIP launch, that is where we have the speakers for the VIP. So I can click on it. I can click on grab a meeting, but all of them are unavailable right now. So it means I can't hold meeting with any of them. So I can come back up here, and then I can click on join room. So automatically it takes me to the room. It takes me to the live event. So it's automatically going to show the live event, and then I can hear what the speakers are saying. Okay, that's trying to load. Still loading, still loading. I think I won't do more of the other things because on the right here there is something around reception. So reception is where I can be able to talk to the conference organizers, maybe for any support reasons. Then there's handouts. So if there are resources that are shared, there's an handout session where I can be able to view them and then either download or go to those links. Then booth is for those that are doing exhibition. VIP is mostly the speakers. Lounge is where I can be able to have 4 people together. We can have a call. Then lobby, everybody's in the lobby. The stage is where we can know what is going on live right now, and then I can just join. So the floor is what the pop-ups that just closed now, where I can see information about all the sessions, the ones that have been held, and the one that is currently active, and the one that is upcoming. And then I can see the speakers, and then I can also see the sponsors too. That is basically all. It's currently live. So event started today. I think they are doing the closing for today. So they have the second one tomorrow. It's a 2-day event.
And it's free because I was also able to join there via typing your link and signing up with the Google. So I can do a little bit of sniffing of what they are using. And
Interesting. Yeah.
because my meeting got
great.
moved.
So, oh, the session is over. Okay,
cool.
no
Thanks
more
for
sessions
showing
for
us.
today. All the sessions are done. Oh, great. I appreciate it. All right. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, cool. The meeting you plan having with Vetly is you've done it, right? Or is it still later today? Floris?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The meeting you be having with the Vetly team, is you've done it or is it still later today?
Yeah, we did it. Let's say like just after. You mean the external meeting, like not with the people of Mauticon, or the other one?
Okay.
You had the meeting with the Vietly team already, but we're demoing the platform later, is it? Or I can't remember.
Yeah, there was something first with branding slogans, and then with marketing, and then with the website, and somewhere around that corner, it would integrate to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Show it to the people who are interested, and to look at what opportunities are missing, and those kinds of things.
Okay. So I think from this part, in terms of the publicizing the call for papers and getting things moving, I need to add the text to the tracks to show that the text to the information to show the tracks. I can do that as soon as we get off the call. Toby, would you have any time today to do write some messages that we can send out on the different channels to promote the call for papers?
Okay. I'm going to try to work on that.
Yeah,
So,
if you just drop it in the
so
Google
the
Doc.
task is going to be okay. So this sprint doc, right?
Yeah. So if I'll just add a section for social media.
Okay. So just social media text that is going to go along with call for paper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The different networks. So obviously
Okay.
Twitter will
What
have to
about
be
image? What about is there any image that is going to go along with it?
probably
160
not something
characters.
available right now because Nico needs to do some development on the imagery after our call, which is happening in about 20 minutes time. So I would just start writing up the content. So like Facebook, Twitter.
Okay.
Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It may be that some of the visuals that he's worked up already, we can integrate as like a sneak peek of the imagery we're going to use, but we won't know that until we have the call at 1:30, which is in like 20 minutes time. So if you could just start drafting out some copy, and then when we have an image, we can share it if we have it. If not, we can share it without an image.
Okay.
What else do we have in this section? And I think the rest of it, in terms of actually promoting the event, creating pages on the social channels and stuff, creating events, we can do that once we're sure what we're doing with regards to tooling and what we're using for the website, because we'll need to point someone somewhere to buy tickets. So that sort of informs the decision to start promoting the event itself. At the moment, I think we should just focus on promoting the call for papers until we've got that stuff sorted. Hi, Aki.
Okay.
Great.
So where are we?
Just working through the stuff on our section. So I'm going to do the changes to the CFP. Toby's going to write up some social media promos to promote that. We brainstormed some ideas of how we can promote the actual event once we've got all our ducks in a row with that.
Yeah.
Some thoughts about how we can drive interest. And that's about where we're at. So we also had a look at an event that Toby mentioned in Slack, the one in Nigeria, I think it was, isn't it? And the tool that they're using.
Okay. Then we have the featured speakers left, right?
Yeah, featured speakers. So.
And the idea here is primarily to use featured speakers to give credibility to the event and attract more speakers. I mean, in this phase, in the context of CFP, right? That's why we're discussing it.
Yeah, and also add credibility to the event, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But we're discussing it in the context of CFP. So
yeah.
That would also mean we would have to have that information public immediately or really soon, or it's not going to help. Yeah. So when the discussion came up in the initial call, I really couldn't make up my mind what I could really envision. Like who should do the keynote, and who else would be featured speakers, as in attractive to the outside. And featuring somebody is, of course, some value to the speaker, but we are talking here about the other way around, the feature giving value to the event.
Yeah, and I think also we have to remember that we've got different groups of people, haven't we? You know, like, so we've got people who use Mautic, and the people that they look up to would probably be like CMOs or high-level execs in marketing roles who are using Mautic. But then you've got people who are contributing in the community, and they will probably have very different interests. And, you know, developers who may want to see someone like Alan or John or someone, you know, so I think, yeah. And also, like I was saying earlier, like the multinational aspect, who are the rockstar heroes in other communities that we might want to feature.
Yeah.
Toby, that's something to think about for the social media promos as well, whether we can get them translated into, particularly into Portuguese for the Portuguese market, but also maybe into other languages, maybe. Don't know. Just a thought.
Was that to Toby or?
Yeah, to Toby, because he was looking at writing the social media promo stuff. I think if possible, we should try and hook in with Rodrigo and people in the Brazilian community, just because it's such a huge community.
Sorry, I wasn't concentrating. What was that?
I was just saying, when we do the social media promotions, it might be good to try and proactively reach out to people and say we're looking for speakers in your language as well. So it might be worth asking people from those communities to translate whatever you write so that they can share it into their communities. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we ask ourselves who would be attractive to our target audiences, that could be multiple things. One is relevant people in the community, like you said, John or so. The other people, I mean, Dries is probably the most well-known name, and is on the commercial side.
Yeah.
When it would be great to have users from a famous company or so. But I
Yeah.
doubt, well, we can try, but I'm not so sure we can get those quickly. We don't even have case studies, success stories, or anything online from famous companies. And then the only other thing that comes to mind is, like you said, rock stars from related communities, from related technologies or markets or whatever. And or of course the other thing is obviously your person as the project lead, your natural featured speaker, no doubt about that. When it comes to this, and then one other criteria is who is actually a good speaker, by the way. Which is a bit of a problem too. And there's this tendency to get good speakers on the list and not care too much about the topic they talk about. And that's really a fine line in my mind. I'm not so convinced that I like that concept, but I see that very frequently. And also, it turns out in other conferences that over time, the variety is too narrow if you only talk about this product, time and again, and not look left and right. And that also changes the nature of the conference. So, long story short, maybe we should explore a little bit about those rock stars from surroundings. If we are not successful there, or even if we are successful there, the other places to look at is pretty much our own community, right? And so when we look there, you have a better overview than I do, but there's a pretty short list of people that would come to mind that we would ask.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to have, if we call them featured speakers rather than keynotes, I think we need to have featured speakers, at least one featured speaker for every persona group that we're trying to hit. You know, so I would probably be appropriate for people who are in the community and who are using Mautic. Dries would be appropriate for the open source lovers, probably, and maybe commercial. I'm not sure about agency-wise, who would be a good speaker from the agency perspective. But I do think it would be good to have a speaker from an agency who are using Mautic at scale. Someone who I would have thought of would be Heath Dutton, but I think he's not doing so much Mautic stuff and he probably wouldn't be involved. But you know, that level of agency work where really high.
Yeah, then developers maybe?
Developer-wise, I would maybe think someone like Alan or John, just off the top of my head, because they know Mautic from day one, but also they're, you know, in the weeds all day, every day.
Yeah. I think John is better speaker of the two, right?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. But again, you need to be a bit mindful of the Acquia heaviness because obviously John, Alan, me, Dries, we're all Acquia. So that's just the way it is. So you may want to think.
Sorry. The other persona or segments that you want to or may want to address is actually international audiences, like I said, somebody from Brazil, somebody from Japan, maybe, or what have you.
Yeah.
typing this right in the document, right? No.
Yeah, I made a start above, but I think this is really good what you're typing there.
Oh, didn't notice yours. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've written
Okay.
different things. I was writing more like who would entice categories. So what I think would work is if you had like keynote featured speakers who are like opening and closing the whole event, and then featured speakers within the tracks. You know, people who kick off the individual tracks and people who bring you back from lunch in the individual tracks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. But after, yeah, that's already the fine tuning. I guess the most important point is to have somebody from this space and from that space, and to use that for marketing the event, basically, right? To have this as the flagships, as a poster boys, whatever. I just wrote end users. Once again, maybe we can come up with some end user case study, testimonial, whatever. That's of course attractive to the end user attendees.
Yeah.
So where to get that, I don't know.
Would you see them as being featured speakers? So like if we found a case study of someone using Mautic at really high volume.
Oh, absolutely.
That kind of thing, yeah? And have them as a featured speaker.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And there's sometimes this thing where an agency is talking about their case study. Yeah. But having the actual end user giving that talk is like 3 times better. So if we can.
Yeah, I've seen Lynn Capozzi do that with a client that they worked with at Acquia, where the client was actually in the session and she was in the session. And she was like presenting it from her perspective and the client was talking from their perspective, like as a fireside chat. Yeah. And that works quite well.
Yeah.
We also did that kind of concept in Drupal Europe, and it was really successful. And another one which was really successful was the panel, where you have like, let's say 4 agency leaders and 1 monitor that makes the conversation flowing. And then the trick for the monitor is to make it on topic, specific from the marketing and the technology point of views, and not having all the company leaders pitch their own companies.
Yeah, that's the fine line you walk with that kind of event, that kind of talk, isn't it? Like it doesn't just become a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Another thing which just passes my mind, when Aki was talking about a person that is actually a great speaker in many languages and a generalist in technology, and no longer an official Acquian, is Preston So. He's currently at Gatsby, if I'm not mistaken, deep into headless and integrations and futures of architecture and those kind of things. So he could also be like maybe a feature speaker.
When we look at featured speakers or keynote speakers, even outside of the Mautic world, then great speaker is one thing, and the other question is a topic that is really as relevant as possible to us. So what could that be? It could, of course, be the concept of open source, especially since in the marketing world, not everybody is as familiar with open source and the magic of it as, for instance, in the CMS world where we all come from. So that would be one direction. The other would be more high level, the future of marketing automation or something like that. Else it would be a bit more remote. I don't know Floris, what you had in mind for that guy?
From what you just said, you can make the next bridge with the services-oriented architecture and decoupling systems, where there's many different systems talking together, and one of those is marketing automation, and others collaborate to give, yeah, they call it digital experiences or whatever, how you sell it, doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
But that's also something which is really hip with the programmers, and also like the thing, well, of 2019-20 that everybody wanted to do. And there are more of these kinds of like hipster things that are not just how's it called, a grill, something which is like now new and next week is no longer relevant, but something which is continuously evolving. And it's up to the team to determine, okay, what's the scope? Is it all about Mautic and selling that in the market, doing the funnel from a visitor to customer? Or is it about open source marketing automation in a broader landscape of open source techniques and collaborations? And that's something that I can't answer because I'm already biased to the.
Yeah, I think it depends on who we want to attract, doesn't it? Really. And in terms of the tracks, we have got tracks for marketing strategy, marketing automation, best practice, yeah, as well as ones that are specific to Mautic. And we've also got an open source and a community track. So.
And the in-depth technology scope is revolving about or around Mautic, PHP, and that's about it, I think. Or no?
Might as well be, might as well be email service providers or cloud hosting or stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So we're running out of time.
Yeah, my other call is in, so I'm gonna jump again.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah, the only problem with having these so close together is that I'm not having time to actually get stuff done. You know, because it's like bouncing from one to the next to the next.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find in the Drupal community I'm in, we've got a list of things that help you write pictures, and I was just going to share. Where is it?
Nico, we need 2 more minutes to finish the last round here, if you don't mind. Nico? Nico, can you hear me?
Nico, can you hear us?
Hello, yes, I'm back.
Cool.
Okay, we need 2 more minutes to finish up the previous call. So forgive us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I just will distract you with a Duplo.
Okay, give one to me.
I have nothing so exciting. I have fuel.
Oh. So you're not eating anymore, so just drinking?
I eat 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. And then I have...
Great, then you don't need to get up off the seat. It's perfect for...
That's exactly why I have it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I have solid days where I don't have a chance to stop. Sad, isn't it?
Okay.
Anyway.
So. Ruth, I'm currently trying to write a list of next actions.
Okay.
Are you still looking for the other document?
Yeah. I'll just paste it. I found
it.
it.
Take your time. Yeah.
This is more things that we can share with people to encourage them to speak and to learn how to speak well. And there's one that's actually in Portuguese as well as English, which I think would be awesome to be able to share that one. Oops, what have I done there? So I'm just making those changes to the author papers to add the tracks in, and also putting some resources about public speaking.
Yeah, and the form field for underrepresented groups.
That's already there.
Okay, great, good.
It's at the bottom. There's one on inclusivity.
So, very good. So that action item is pretty much done. Compile ideas for feature speakers, compile ideas for keynote speakers from the outside. Put this on all, and I think we can get this done today easily. Toby writing some copy, and that's it, right? Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Nico, to let you wait.
No problem at all. How's the template? Is it working well? The Drive template?
The one you started?
Working? Yeah.
Google Doc. Yeah, we're using that for all the things we're doing in the sprint.
Cool.
So that's really helpful. It's a bit like the dashboard we used for the other sprint, isn't it? Like, come here and you'll find everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Might be good to put the link to the.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put that here.
So.
Someone's getting coffee. I'm jealous.
So.
I have like a 4-day-old coffee cup here. But I did treat myself to a coffee on the way home from the gym this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to know what's around me here.
My office is actually very tidy, but at home it's an absolute nightmare. Cup of tea, very good.
But it's coffee inside, but so it's not allowed.
Ah, fail. Hash fail.
It's a generic cup here.
So, how should we now go on?
Yeah, what do you need? Where are we? Set it up. Maybe you want to lead this one.
So, okay, give me. I will share something. So we have there some issues, and one is add some pictures. So this was my proposal, just a sketch. I don't know if this will work like that. We have, but I would really like to have that Mautic is like this speedboat, or is the speed ship, and not the old crap, big and not open source software conglomerates who want all your data, and that Mautic is more like the speedboat ship who is evaluating into the stars and can explore stuff and something like this. That this could be in this theme. I don't know if we can manage it, but this was the main idea of it, that we have some not steampunk, but you don't know if it's in underworld like Mautic, like it's like the name is like it's 2,000 miles on the sea, like it's a Mautic boat or something, and you don't know if it's under the sea or it's in the star. It should be a starship. It should be some guessing users can do, and that we have also some human-shaped explorers who maybe look into the stars and it's so great what we can achieve now and what will become what's coming, and that we can we are the good guys who make not so much with your data and something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, this was just the main theme I thought about. Would be great if we can achieve this, but I'm not sure if this.
We had some conversation on that already online, and I do get the idea, and I think I like it a lot. One thing that I'm not so sure about is when you say there's here 2,000 miles under the sea. It's the Nautilus, right? And the closeness from Mautic to Nautic has always been an issue. People confuse it with nautical things, and so we even play with it now. And then you say, okay, we mix it up. We don't make it clear whether we are under the seas or in the stars, etc. That sounds tough to me. I mean, it's a good idea, but I'm not sure it can be done. What it should be, either way, it should avoid any sort of depressing or etc. mood. But this
it's also like
the
this, the colors now. It is nothing set, so it should be bright colors, more like a two-tone-ish thing.
Yeah,
and
very upbeat.
Yeah, and also like if we have something like tentacles, so like the bad guys or something, they can also be in pink. I don't care. Like this should be bright colors and everything.
Yeah, I really like the other one that you just showed, the one with the yellow and the
simpler.
That's my favorite. I think that's so cute and lovely.
But I don't know if it should be cute, because this is also an issue in Drupal that we skipped the DrupalCon. Because it's just a community thing, but this is a community event, so it's also would work. And also in Drupal, the community loves the DrupalCon and uses it and manage it to modify it like hell.
Could that be Mortibot underneath the head?
Yeah, sure. Like this is also like an idea to maybe have him, but Mortibot is more like this clunky square thingy.
Yeah.
And maybe we can put him into shape with this, how it's called, this thingy that he's squeezed into it. Like there's also a game where there is but no.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of looking up to the stars, because I feel like that's sort of like where we're at now.
Yeah, sure.
We've sort of come from the depths and we're sort of looking towards the future. And I think that's why I like this design, because
just a question about this, because it's really clunky and really not childish, how it's called. It's like it's called lovely. Should it be lovely? This is my home question for all. Like, should it be like this more toyish guy or not? So we have, if we have this, it's more like a small helper guy who helps all the people because he's really nice and cute. And but do we want this image? This is my main question.
Or do you mean or something that's a bit more refined and a bit less cartoony?
Yeah, I like a little more rough, because my idea is that we have two persons. We have one more human, like just skip this. More human-like person who is in this starship. It's called Closes, and looks above the sky and everything. And then we have a sidekick, and the sidekick is this Mautibot guy, who also is the sidekick, always on his side and always helping everything. Maybe this would be, I don't know if this would be also the second idea I have. So we have in the main image, like also the human who is looking about the skies, and beside we have Mautibot also looking maybe there. And in the inside of the on the landing page, we then use more Mautibot, or the Mautibot guy who has everything in their hands, because he has small feet and everything and clunky hands. So he has maybe a clock in his hand for the schedule, or I don't know, for sessions he has a plan in his hands, something like this. If this
So
idea you like.
So it's multiple dimensions here. One is the idea and the explicitness of the situation and the message, etc. The other is the style of the graphics, as in
graphic language.
Originally, I would even have thought of something photographic, right? Which is most common in this kind of key visuals. The other end is something drawn or computer art or whatever. And then it's the level of refinement. Is it intentionally rough and shortcut, or is it very well refined and polished? And
I think it should be polished. But
thinking of it, I could envision something that really takes this concept of cartoonish to the edge and says this is really like pop art piece, a cartoon.
Do you like it? This idea is cartoonish?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. If it's going all the way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm in the Drupal sphere. We're going away more from this to make it more like business looking and everything. But yeah, it's also because it's a community event. We have also, like I said, also a Drupal this cartoonish thing is. But
have you got an example? Sorry for interrupting. Do you have an example of what you had previously in Drupal and what the reflections were in that? Because that makes it much easier to talk about the style that we have in our heads but cannot really express.
Yeah, like we had in Drupal Austria, had Drupal Kaiser. So it was just a Druplicon with a crown and everything. It was old and not so, but to have played with this this Kaiser and this golden and everything in 2009, I think that this was. And but you don't
find it in Google.
Find it anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I'm also on this. I'm also fine if we go with the. So maybe. Do you like to have illustrations? Because this is what really my main pain point, that I have to pay Illustrator for doing all the stuff for me. So if I'm ordering it from Etsy, I want to stick and that it be used and not useless money waste from me.
Yeah.
So yeah. Or do we need just an image like DrupalCon? Has a lot of times some images, but like DrupalCon Vienna was also more like, I really don't like this design. It's more like illustrations, and it was this Art Nouveau style, but it was made bad, I think. It was not, yeah, but that's important. But if you say, but I would suggest to this page is a lot of white room and just some Mautibot, this Mauti guy images on some topics. If this is fine, we can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, if we should either go with everything being on the illustrated side or everything being on the formal. I think what would be clunky is to have some bits illustrated and then have like icons or something that look completely different.
No,
you
that's
know,
not working.
that would look a bit clumsy.
Yeah, sure.
So we'd have to define what we actually need to.
Yeah, if we have like today a decision that this is the landing page and this every elements we have there, then I can say, okay, I need this and this and this, and there may be some background with some what's called some pattern which are custom made for this, and maybe I need 4 or 5 multi-bots which has some different things in their hand. Or this multi guy, which is more like in the shape of a small helper. I don't know.
What do you think?
So if Nico, you just said something about a lot of white and then something here and something there. What I said before, what I had in mind, what I was trying to say was really to avoid that lots of white space.
Okay.
Like you would have in any cartoon.
Okay.
Lot of colored area, not necessarily with gradients or anything, but colored and
okay, also good.
Yeah, that is much more catchy. Not only when you go to the website, but also for use in social media, etc. If you have some actual full colored areas.
Who would develop then this page?
What do you mean page?
Like this landing page. Who will do the code for it?
Oh, we're doing that in not Haysummit.
Yeah, but who will do it? Who will create this code?
It's point and click.
It's a content management system. It's
okay, but if we make some, but if we make some special elements and something, we have to adopt, I think, some parts. But because when I played around with it, it's like a page builder. But I think it's always limiting. But maybe I can also try to go hand in hand with the designer and show him the possibilities, and then he can maybe work on
you can
this.
do custom HTML blocks. But yeah, I mean the wider question, I guess, is do we still want to use Haysummit? So that's one of my questions, is like, if we're going to use Vertly, potentially we can do all the scheduling and the tracks and everything in Sessionize and just embed that in a page. And we're doing the ticketing through Open Collective. Do we need to use Haysummit?
Let's step back a little bit, because I think I lost you. Why are we discussing this? Maybe I miss.
Because that impacts how the branding and the design work can actually be put into the website. The tool that you're using to build the website is going to constrain what you can do with the branding and design work.
But I mean, maybe I really put things wrong. But I still think we should have some sort of banner image, which is like comic strip or like a single cartoon or something. And the rest is text and image, or is some intelligent things like here's a track list, or here's a speaker list, or so. So it has nothing to do with design. Maybe we can change the color of the fonts.
Yeah, I think we need just a decision how the design should look like, and we can adopt the tools that it has reflect some design guides we will create, so some design ideas we create. So I think it doesn't matter if it's Haysummit or something else. I think we just need some landing page. I don't care where it is, if it's Haysummit or if we have some on the Mautic website or something else, or some landing page with some key facts and everything, and that this could be decided somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I was Googling a little bit, not that this is the exact style that I'm having in mind, but maybe we could even have some text here. I don't know the English word, but the Sprechblase.
Yeah, some speech bubble.
Speech bubble, right? To drive the idea of this cartoon even further.
Yeah, like also we can also add the speakers in some more like organic bubble.
Oh, you mean like if we have a speaker list, we could not show the picture, but drawings in the same style, or?
Yeah, we could, but this is some work. But maybe we can also add it in some bubble-ish organic element, which the wrapper is the cartoonish thing, and inside it's a photo, the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's again taking us to the limits of the system, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like there are some things that you can do, but we will be constrained at some point by the.
But maybe we can also But maybe we can also have. I don't know if I will get also some budget for it, and I can tell them, we have these speakers. These are the portraits. Make some cartoonish element from them. Also okay.
Yeah.
There are online tools to do that if it comes close to the style we're using for the key visual. For now, I'd say let's concentrate on the key visual, and
so both of you are fine with a cartoonish thingy. If both of you would like it.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's also worth mentioning that if it's coming out of your own pocket, if you're okay with that, fine. But then also if you do need to be reimbursed for that, we have the tools to be able to do that through the ticket sales and what have you. So
yeah, like I would pay some sure, but not if you say I need 20 illustrations of people, speakers or something. This is not possible. This is so much work.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the first thing, so like to have a key visual and have some elements, I will pay it. So it's okay. So I stepped up for it. But I'm not a designer, I'm not an illustrator. I started design and everything, but I have two persons beside. I can pay them, so it's not it's a contribution, so it's okay for me.
Yeah.
But if it's getting more and more, then yeah.
No, we should keep it simple anyway.
Yeah.
Not go over the top.
So if we have now the decision that it's a comic stylish thingy, should we work on this this Mautic person I did? Not I, the designer did with my thing like this. You see it? I think so, yeah. Like this. Should we go with it? This was a rough sketch. So that we have like this sidekick Mautibot squeezed into a sweet sci-fi thingy, a sweet suit. How it's called, suit.
Astronaut suit.
Yeah, thanks. I would like it.
I quite like it.
That you also don't know if it's Mautibot, but you can imagine that maybe Mautibot is inside and something like this. I like it so. Because to work with Mautibot is also quite hard because it's like this square who cannot hold really stuff in their hand because it's too small and has this velociraptor. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to, then I would go with this. Also the colors and everything, like it's easy. More refine it, and maybe we have some ideas what parts this guy can hold in his hands or what we need. So maybe like a huge clock for the schedule.
So we have an idea about the style, and the tricky part is to get it right. And, I mean, we like the idea. But myself, I'm a little bit surprised that I'm now at a point where I think I can like it. I wouldn't really expect it that way. But that's the style, and whether the result is something we say we are okay with, or we can stand, or we love, or whatever, really depends on the outcome, and that's really hard to tell up front. But as you said, once you start putting in the work and the sweat and the money to this, that's a little bit of point of no return.
It depends. So if there is something you say, oh man, it's so crazy ugly, then sure, we don't need it or we don't use it, and maybe I can use it for something. So yep, I don't care. So
no, we better
always
make it
the
right.
thing. It's open source, so a lot of decisions, a lot of people, so it's okay. But I just wanted to make a quick first sketch and discuss it with the two illustrator, one designer, one illustrator, one conceptor, and they then I will get a sketch from it, and then we can.
So let's use what I was going to say is let's the leftover couple of minutes to try and outline the message of the thing. So for one thing, is there a Mautic logo part of the illustration? Is it the logo on the illustration, or is it somewhere part of the illustration, like a sticker on a rocket ship or something?
I think if we have a rocket ship, the rocket ship should have the Mautic logo. Also, like in the design, the what's called the helmet has the logo engraved, something like this. And maybe we can have something like, I don't know, some star in the thing, which is maybe a mechanical star, which looks like the logo. I don't know.
Todesstern, Death Star.
No, I don't know, but the logo will be there present. I don't know if it's in this huge in the key visual. We have to test it.
I mean, in the website, on the website, we have the regular logo anyway, so it should not be duplicated there. For social media, we may have variations, so we don't. So for the thing we're talking about now, the website image, we don't have the full logo, but it may or may not be applied.
Yeah, because you need to understand the association of the images with Mautic, don't you? Like, I think, and because we're using this solely for the purpose of the Mautic community, you don't need a license.
That's very clear here. And then we were coming from the tagline. And Ruth, I don't know whether you discussed the tagline earlier when it was about what was it, tooling or? So did we have any tagline progress today? No.
No, I don't think we did cover tooling, cover tagline.
But if it's really a decision now, it should be comic and it should be space, something like this. I'm also fine. Then it's not really this. We are the good guys and we. Something like this, and we need this tentacle thingy. This would be really needed if we have these tentacles and we want to illustrate that we are the good one, and something like this to get this stranger topic into place, or this bigger idea.
So we let you come up with an idea. For the content, maybe, or scribble, whatever. Like here, this is the thing escaping, this is a sidekick, here's a speech bubble, whatever, and go from there. And only once the visual is final, that we can then see whether we want an overlay at some portion of it or whatever to have extra content if we need to.
Yeah, the main thing we are now working would be but this Mautic guy. So like not the human, I would say more this comic, because the human is not so comic and not the sidekick. So the sidekick will maybe the main theme for it to select the Mautic.
But part of the visual, or in or on the visual, there has to be some major space that just says Mauticon 2020, November 17th, globally online or whatever. So we need that as part of the
and the installation.
Okay.
This is like Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think it would be really helpful from the social media marketing perspective if we can make sure we have those isolates that can be dropped onto like a social media visual or an email or a footer email, you know, so that we can reuse them. That would be really helpful. Obviously, under artistic guidance. We don't
Maybe
want
it's
to.
also.
We don't want to be pulling from your Illustrator every time we need a new image doing, you know, we need to be able to
we will provide some stuff. Yeah. Maybe we can also have like to have it like a cover, a comic cover. The main thing is like shot Mickey Mouse, there is Comic Con and then some thing and then there's like we have it like a comic magazine.
Did you just say Comic Con?
So it's like a.
You've lost me now.
Like to have it like in a comic magazine, like the title of a comic magazine is the for the.
And where would you want to use that?
On the website, so have it more like. But let's go.
The bit you were saying about having Mauticon and the date and stuff, having that done in a font that is also consistent with the comic style. I think that's what he means, Seki.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I see. I was thinking it's the actual layout of a comic or cartoon cover, which by nature is landscape, is portrait, not landscape, and that's a problem, etc. But let's focus on that thing.
Yeah.
And I do believe once we have that, we will have other ideas, and we just need to select.
Cool.
Yeah, and we use Canva to create stuff like social media visuals. So just.
We can also put them there, some stuff there, and we can also provide some how it's called transparent elements, so you can place them somewhere. I hope to try to get it really easy to have maybe some bright backgrounds, like Eke said, like bright backgrounds, some crazy green, or I don't know, and you can put some stuff there. Let's see.
Yeah, because we're going to have to do from the marketing perspective things like, you know, featured speakers, keynote speakers. We want to be able to do visuals to promote them. So to use the branding elements on that kind of layout would be great.
Yeah, I will always try to get everything also in this.
We're at 2 o'clock if people have to hop.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything else not for my thing to do today? Do you need me for something today?
I don't think so. I think if you just crack on with those things.
Okay, then I will straight go to this.
Drop in the channel if there's anything you need.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Can't wait.
See you.
Thanks, Nico. Bye-bye. There we go again. Do we want to take a break?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just looking at what Megan had done for adding value to sponsors.
Sorry.
That's all right. Do you need to stop for a bit, or are you good to keep going?
Can we continue in 3 minutes?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, talk to you then.
Okay.
So there.
Ho ho. See, I do eat.
Oh, yeah.
Orange.
Well, I don't know whether you noticed, but during our kickoff, somebody brought me some pizza.
Oh, jealous. Very jealous. No, I didn't notice. That flew under the radar.
I was trying hard to hide the eating. I just pretended to drop off. No, that was
I'm
not
really
pretending.
busy. Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to stop now. Yeah, so we were talking about sponsors in this slot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with that?
Once again, I have no idea where we are, what already exists.
Okay.
So we did talk about the research about sponsorship packages, but
yeah.
Did we ever start compiling anything?
Okay,
we have the budget thing, of course.
Yeah, so we have the budget, which was like my kind of way of giving a rough overview. So your screen is flashing white for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, maybe.
Screen view, this one.
Oh, yeah. Can you see it here? My camera's going crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, it's tough today.
Yeah, tech is not your friend today. So can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, very good.
So this was like my rough overview at doing some numbers. I mean, when I looked at the pricing for the sponsorship packages, it's very much dependent on the size of the conference, how well established it is, how likely you are, I guess, to get those big dollar numbers. But also it's dependent on what you give the sponsors back in return.
Yeah, let's ignore the absolute numbers for a second. I would more think about what the structure is, or what packages do we offer, and what values are there, etc.
Yeah, so I was thinking just having a simple 3-tier sponsorship package. So gold, silver, bronze, just to make it easy for us to manage, and making it a bit more exclusive by having the top level ones limited to the number of people. I just did 1, 3, 10, but it could be like 5, 10, 15 or something. I don't know. I have no idea how many sponsors we're likely to get on board. I just don't know. So that's where we got to with that. It's also dependent on like what we want to actually spend out, because obviously we need to be able to cover any outgoing expenses that we have. Like if we want to send everyone a swag pack with like a notebook, a pen, and a gift card for the swag shop, then we need to cover that cost.
Yeah, it's mostly the dropship. And
so I was looking into swag.com for that, and just having a simple package like an envelope with a notebook, a pen, whatever. And then you could add that as a value add to your sponsors. Like the top level sponsor could also include something branded by their company, and other sponsors could add bolt on for an extra X pounds, dollars, whatever, adding something to the swag pack.
Yeah, but I don't think that's super relevant. It's for sponsors. I think it's mostly the visibility, maybe a little bit of backlinks, or why don't we? I'm thinking what a good order is. One is what value can we offer in the first place?
Yeah. So that's this document.
Oh yeah.
Let me just open. Oh, I didn't know it did that. Adding and offering value to potential sponsors. So this was something that Megan started working on. It was one of the tasks assigned to me. So these were some of the ideas she had
these are
for that.
For business background. Promote products and services in a relevant setting. So I would like to make this much more specific, even like mentions on Twitter, mentions in the keynote and stuff like that. Yeah.
So also, if you go to, if I go to Mautic Community Drive, Teams, Community, Events, Mauticon, Finances. So also got this document, which is like tracking of the progress. And so what I thought also is having a committed marketing activities. So like you're saying that you say, we'll send out X tweets featuring you, we'll send out Y messages on Facebook. We include X number of tickets in each of the plans. So we then have to factor in how much revenue we lose from our ticket sales for the ones that we're offering to sponsors.
Wow. Give or take,
do anything for comp plan. Yeah.
So just to continue the thought about the order of action here. So one is to make a list of values that we can offer. Then the tiers, we already have the suggestion of having the gold, silver, bronze thing and nothing else. And then the question of what costs do we generate, like what is in the swag pack, do we have one, etc. Maybe we can even wait for the initial reaction on sponsorship before we decide whether we do want a t-shirt, for instance.
Yeah.
So we can like adjust our cost to the revenues.
Yeah, because you could have someone, like as part of Nico's design work, there could be a design for a t-shirt, and we have that design on a t-shirt in the swag shop. Exactly. And they then buy it from the swag shop with the gift card they get.
Yeah, for instance, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of what we can offer, so you were saying social media, shares
or
mentions.
Yeah.
Website, logo and link on website.
On the conference website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mention the keynote. Logo on a t-shirt. That document of Megan, where do you find that?
I linked it in the post. So if you scroll down a wee bit, budget and adding value. It's on, if you click to where I am now, if you click on my face at the top.
Got it.
Yeah. So promote sponsors through social, including sponsor-specific content in social media initiatives, including the logo being on email shots going out and leading to the event or in event websites.
Mm-hmm. Offer been back? No.
Slide could have a slide in the presentation as well. Like
you mentioned the keynote, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that Nick repeatedly mentioned was or was it Flores? Maybe it was you, Flores. The option to create leads from offering the presentation or anything as a download as a call to action on the website. I'm not sure I would go down that path.
Yeah, I think that is a kind of an expectation nowadays from sponsors at events, that they have some way of capturing leads. And I think I prefer them to have a proactive way for people to go and give their information than we give the information to the sponsors en masse. You know, I would.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
you know, I would much prefer that they have something on their booth where someone can click and go to a landing page that they supply to get their details. Then,
okay, yeah, that's easy.
You know.
Yeah. So
something like they have one button on their booth that people can click and fill in a form. Like the way Acquia did it for DrupalCon is you fill in the form, and then the first 500 people got a t-shirt, and they go $5 for every person who filled it in. You know, so
that was on that web app was DrupalCon or was on the Acquia side?
DrupalCon gave you a link, one button that you can connect up to a web page.
Okay, and you can do whatever you want and be creative.
Yeah, so they had a simple name and an email address form, and then if you were the first 500, they sent you a link to give your address to send you a t-shirt, basically. And that was, the address was only for doing the t-shirt bit.
Yeah.
But, But I think it's simple to just say, you sort out what you're doing once you get them there. We'll give you a link where people can click on a button and go there.
Yeah, so it's different from the logo that goes to some URL of choice, which is basically SEO, whereas the other one is like a lead generation link and landing page. At least it's supposed to be that. It's probably not even do follow.
And it would only be accessible within the event itself, so there's no SEO to be gained from it, really.
Yeah, and that's even counterproductive. If there is the one the logo link, you don't want to cannibalize it by other ones that go to irrelevant landing pages.
Yeah.
Okay, create leads from the print at the end on the booth. Yeah, the booth in the first place, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Virtual booth.
Yeah, obviously.
And that's sort of dependent on what we can do with the platform.
Yeah, I was going to ask what was the outcome of the tooling discussion?
Floris, you had a call this morning, didn't you? Did you? You're on mute at the moment, by the way.
Yeah. Am I?
Good. I can hear you.
Good. Yes. Yeah. I was just checking that I'm only on the headphone and also on the loudspeaker because that's too much noise. Yeah, it was a real good discussion. They're open for collaboration and maybe provide me also access to the source code of what they're doing in their SaaS product, so that I can make a proper assessment and a technical roadmap of what is already there but we don't know about, and which parts are still missing and needed. So there was a positive outcome. I was thinking, okay, we need to fork it and do other open source nasty stuff in order to get this rolling. But yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
So now then, when we're looking at what is that we are going to offer to the sponsors, those are important things. I was also thinking about, not sure if we're going to do that, if we're going to like have Jitsi rooms or other call rooms and broadcast that again to a wider audience. Before I heard numbers like in the 200 to 500s, then it's not specifically needed. But if you go over that, yes, then we need to be able to have streaming in there, which is already facilitated. And I know that from Hopin, there's like one stream you can do, or two if you pay the extra pro package.
Do you mean like streaming to YouTube or Facebook or something? What do you mean?
Yes, like that. YouTube, Facebook, there's other stream things. I was thinking to do it just with Nginx.
Why would we stream if we want people to come and...
if you, depends on the amount of people that simultaneously want to look at the experience.
Okay.
The example that is in the past 3 days, I'll share the link soon. There's an open source plumbing conference by the Linux Foundation happening now, and they're doing everything by streaming because they're having 3,000 plus visitors, attendees. So what you then need to do is you have like a window where the stream goes, and you have asynchronous your chats for the questions and the interaction per room. That's a different kind of level of playing field than when you have maximum, let's say 40 to maybe 60 people inside one room that have like group talks or have a panel or have a session to attend. Because you don't actually need all the people to be in the physical JIT room in order to do that.
Yeah.
And if you go that way, then there is another opportunity for sponsors, like between the sessions, you can show a show reel for some dynamic little movie about the sponsor, and then next session starting in countdown 10 minutes in case you have a break.
Yeah.
And the other way around, from the sponsor session, there should be a way to people to opt in to share personalia. There should be a way for them to express their show reel video, download maybe some PDF of whatever they want to spread, or HTML that people can read. The main thing there for sponsors is a call to action so that they know the visitor and they can use that inside their CRM.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
8 out of 10 of sponsors are looking for employees, and 2 out of 10 are maybe looking for customers. And if we would be able to get potential customers joining Mauticon, you will sell your sponsors out really quickly.
Yeah.
But that's always a difficult promise to maintain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's even more difficult for us to do that if we've never run the event before, because we can't say this is our audience demographics because we haven't.
But on the other hand, you can hypothetically say we want to target this and this audience, like the new users to Mautic, the industry leaders that are thinking to change or go for a marketing automation system, as well as the known technical in crowd. Because it's also an advantage that we never done it before. Thus, speaking out an ambition doesn't necessarily have to make it like 100%. If you get maybe of the 200 people, 10 customers, it could be worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what will encourage the agencies, particularly, to sponsor. If the cost of sponsoring is the equivalent of 2 customers, and they're going to meet 20 leads, conversion rate and all that.
Yes, exactly. And the same way around, the main difference between an actual physical conference and an online conference is that you can facilitate, let's say, VIP rooms for sponsors where they can meet with potential employees or customers.
Yeah.
And thus them not having the fright, which they always have, is to lose their own customers that they bring to something cool like a Mauticon.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm thinking 3 steps ahead and making it much too big than it's actually going to be. But yeah, just when looking at what is needed and required within tooling, as well as what could be a potential, that's about my current way of thinking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm not too optimistic about this event, but I still think it's just our tiny little Mauticon. It is the people who are going to sponsor will do that more or less anyway. For those who are not naturally interested, it's going to be a hard sell to say, hey, don't you want to pitch or to sell your email service at Mauticon, right? It was going to Mailjet and say, hey, why don't you promote Mailjet at Mauticon? It's going to be tough this year. Maybe we're successful, but that also takes people to do that.
Yeah.
So my realistic expectation is that we have the sponsorship offerings out. We make sure people are aware of it, and then those that will react to that will be existing Mautic services. And many of them already expressed their interest in doing that. And I agree with Flores that recruiting is a part of that, depending on what business you're in. For the SaaS providers, then selling is probably more important or equally important. for many others, recruiting is a big deal, almost as big as in Drupal or as in the CMS world, but not the same. So, and the other thought is, I know there's a ton of things that can be done, but I would refrain from being too selly, too much ad driven or this is after all an open source community conference, so constantly trying to sell to the attendees and at the same time charging money for the event feels not so great. So things like show reels or ads somewhere feels a little bit over the top. The more being a little bit shyer and just saying thanks to the sponsors and things like that, and then pointing to the virtual booth, etc. I would feel better about that. And last thought, going back to the beginning, the streaming thing, that also ties into charging money for attending, of course. So what I could envision is that we do both, that we charge money for attending, that we offer a free stream, but don't necessarily mention that 5 weeks ahead of time, and that we also offer recordings after the fact, right? I mean, maybe we don't even need to decide the streaming aspect.
Yeah, your scope is always, in the end, if there's good technical talks that spread open source knowledge, you want to have those be available for free to the people that want to learn about it and invest their time into Mautic as well as other open source technologies, of course. Yeah, with the ticketing, it's just a matter of price tagging and target audiencing.
What we had talked about before was if we do it with Open Collective, we can set the price at 20, but have it as a variable pricing. So if you can afford 20, you pay 20. The minimum you have to pay for a ticket is, say, $5, and then you can decide to pay what you can afford, more or less than that. So
that's indeed an option. Yeah. Another concept that I've seen before is if you buy early, you pay 20. If you buy on the day itself, you pay 120. And it slowly rises. It forces people to buy early, specifically the ones on a tight budget. And then you don't give a discount for 5, but you open a grant and scholarship. So if people say, okay, I want to attend, but 20 euros is too much for me, maybe I live in Africa or in India, whatever, they write for the scholarship and they get it for free or for next to nothing.
Yeah,
that's also a way. And another thing to add, it's also about how we envision scale and scope. If we would do the Drupal Europe 2018 with thinking, well, it's just our little community of total 30,000 around the world of Drupal people, and we're happy if we reach maximum camp numbers of 500, it would have never gotten to 1,100 attendees on night. Since we took from the start, okay, we just need this for our community, and we need to engage and include as much people from Europe as possible, as maybe as well from the States or Africa or Asia, whenever we can travel. We went for it. It ate half a year of each and every one of us life of 8 people, and done. It was there.
Yeah. So I think we're maybe going a bit tangential because I think we need to get the sponsor stuff nailed down.
That's also one little thing that I'd like to add there is don't promise too much at the start on paper, because everything you promise you have to maintain and do, and we're doing it with volunteers.
Yeah.
So if we have a Hootsuite and can send 10 tweets, no problem.
We do, yeah.
But if we have to do it manually, difficult.
No, we
Same
have
goes if you-
Hootsuite.
Same thing you can do for having like on time before the event an actual swag bag on site. Really great, but it can
we're
only
planning.
happen if we sell 3 or more sponsorships within 4 months or 2 months or whatever time that you have framed.
Yeah. Yeah, the swag bag, if we have 150 people, we need $4,500. So we would have to sell the gold sponsorship to be able to do that. 400 if we get 150 attendees.
Meaning that there is one supplier in the States and there will be a lot of cost in postal stamps sending that stuff to Europe.
No, we would use a third party like Swag Up or Swag Shop or something
Okay,
like
and
that.
they're spread around and do that evenly.
They do all of the. You just tell them what they.
do.
Yeah, you tell them what goes in, and then we use some kind of API to push the bookings from Open Collective over to them, and then they just dispatch the swag. And Spreadshirts have also said they can sort out gift cards for us as well to go into those bags. So, yeah. But there are some options on the budget that are just like things that I thought might be nice. For example, if we were able to upgrade speakers' webcams so that they can give a good webcam, or give them a good microphone. They're not necessary expenses. They're things that could come in, say, if we've, a bit like you were saying, Floris, if we get half the sponsors signed up, then we will send these out to the speakers,
Yeah, so you make
Ecky's looking
your
worried.
promises maintainable.
You're looking worried, Ecky.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to sort through complexity here. I was just looking again at the suggested cost of sponsorship per tier. So having one at 5,000, 3 at 3,000, and 10 at 1,500 sounds doable to me. And then I was wondering which of our values would go into gold, which would be silver only, and which would be bronze. And so shall we just try to mark those that are gold only? I mean, there's only one gold sponsor, right?
Doesn't have to only be one. Could have a couple. Generally, sponsors who are spending big money like to be exclusive, don't they? And that's why I put it only as one.
I think
they would like to share it with another. That's okay.
Yeah.
So let's say mention in the keynote doesn't hurt if there are two. If you want to be exclusive there, that should be more expensive. In other events, there are things like there's a T-shirt sponsor, so you pay for being exclusive on the T-shirt, or the drinking event sponsor. Okay, doesn't apply here.
But there's no reason why we can't add other things like that in if we want to, like have a T-shirt sponsor, have a I don't know, video sponsor.
If there only was a worldwide coffee provider, so we could send vouchers to everyone.
Pizza sponsor.
The only option would be a McDonald's sponsor, but I don't want that.
No, and you'd have to be like 100. You have to work it out by number of attendees, wouldn't you? Which gets complicated. I mean, what Acquia have done at some events is they've given a gift card for like some of those international eat out places where you God, I can't think what they are now, but there's a couple of worldwide companies that have local chains that you can use the gift cards at.
But it's not worth the trouble, I think, in our context.
So what do we think we should include for gold?
So which are the most valuable ones?
I think logo on T-shirt.
Yeah.
If that's not a separate sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm putting that below. I've got tiers. What do we offer them?
Oh, okay, good. Oh, if
But
repeat
it's helpful to have it at the top as well. So if I do also like all sponsors.
Yeah, if something is silver, that's automatically gold too, right? If something is bronze, it's automatically for silver and gold too.
Yeah.
So booth is bronze and everybody. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
unless we say it's from silver up, I don't know.
I think that the difficulty with a virtual event is that if you don't have that virtual booth, all you have is like a logo on the website. I mean, that might be a community sponsor for like $500 or something. It's like a logo on the website and a link. Maybe.
Yeah, and that can even be a personal option. If you're a community personal sponsor and you do it out of your own pocket and you pay $100, you get your photo and I'm really cool or whatever slogan, and you're good. That's usually the thing that I take real conferences. If the tickets are like 40 to 50 euros, and then I up it to 100 euros and say, okay, I'll do community sponsoring because I like you guys organizing it.
Yeah.
But we're working on the value proposition to the sponsors, and exposure is the main one. So if offer business track is a feasible thing, that would be the most expensive one. And then you have the thing that happens after the keynote, maybe a 2-minute pitch by the sponsor or a pre-recorded video or whatever in plain public site. That's also something that you only allow to the gold.
I also added in a sponsor Slack channel so that they have a place where they can reach out to the team organizing the event if they have questions.
Okay, so
easy for us to set up, but it's also an easy way to communicate with sponsors.
Yeah. So that's for everyone, right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Free tickets are in tiers. Yeah.
So what did I put in that? I put 5, 3, and 2. So like 5 at gold, 3 at silver, and 2 at bronze. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes, much better than the 20 you get for sponsoring gold in DrupalCon. That's too much.
Yeah.
And can it be done technically? Like here are 5 voucher codes that I can forward to customers or so?
Yeah, we can figure out a way.
Okay, good.
You can, well, we can make a package up on Open Collective for each of the sponsors, and then figure out a way to do the free tickets thing.
Okay, good.
5, 3, and 1, didn't I say?
Yeah, you said 2. I don't know.
Did I say 2? Okay. I don't have very good memory. So, yeah, I did say 2. You're right. 2 free tickets. Okay.
Tell me again about the keynote session.
We were talking about giving a talk as a featured speaker.
What's the definition of a featured speaker?
What we were talking about half an hour ago?
Yeah, that was mainly a marketing instrument to attract people. And we would like when we reach out to people about Mauticon and say, hey, come listen to Mauticon because this famous guy from Nigeria is also coming, or is giving a talk.
Same kind of thing, but like your sponsors, they are able to provide a spokesperson.
And marketing a specific talk, okay. But then, after all, it is still just another talk, right? It's not like the keynote, which is typically the first in the morning, or maybe a closing keynote, or maybe something after lunchtime or so, whatever lunchtime is in a global event.
Yeah.
So it's nothing special with the talk. It's just a talk, and we make sure to advertise it a little bit like we do the other featured speakers.
Yeah, so a featured speaker or keynote, whatever we end up calling them, basically. But like if they're on, say, the gold session.
I can't hear you.
Oh no, not again. Whoop. There's 2 of you, Floris.
Yes, I dropped, so the other floors will leave really quickly.
Yeah, at the moment you're kind of like frozen with your eyes shut.
I can't see a thing. Ah, shoot.
Is your audio gone again? Oh, there's got to be something wrong with your headphones. That sounds really weird that your headphones just keep cutting out your audio all the time. Headphones or computer? Phone and technology. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I never had that much trouble.
I'm glad it's not Jitsi to blame.
Why do you think that?
Because
Who knows?
everybody else
Maybe it
is just speaking all day without issues. So yeah.
Maybe it's content sensitive.
Selective hearing.
I didn't apply Google artificial intelligence in this instance yet, so no.
Okay.
But we done it, like with the subscriptions, the subtitling.
Okay, where were we?
Sponsors and value proposition.
Yeah, I know.
So gold, one featured speaker.
Oh yeah, we were
level?
talking about what is a featured speaker. Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's an it's a talk and it is advertised. Is that
Yeah.
it? Yeah, okay.
And maybe even having a post-event webinar or hosting a webinar that we promote in the community after the event or something like that.
Well,
that was just something I thought about when we were talking earlier about
yeah, what's the difference again? Is this a different sort of talk or a longer slot or what's that?
A post after the event, we host a community with the sponsor webinar to talk about something.
And that would be different from what they talk in the featured talk.
Yeah, or it could be a follow-up from what they talk about on their featured talk. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? Because then they're like, and if you want to know more, come to our webinar.
Yeah, specifically when it can be hands-on workshop or something like that, then it also might interest the tech-savvy people. Because at the same time, in the virtual booth, they will also do the same presentation all day. Either recorded or on the spot.
And I mean, people can do that anyway, right? As long they only need to organize it themselves. So the value here would be that we do the organization for it, and that the audience is closer to it. It's more effortless to join for the audience.
Yeah, and it could even be something we promote in the post-event communication when we share the videos and the replays and stuff. We say also sign up for this webinar if you want to continue this experience at the end of this week. Here's the next.
Yeah,
here's the webinar.
But that could also be done if they organize everything on themselves. It would be much less effort for us to just
we could say
we do post event advertising for a webinar of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
I'm lazy. I want to avoid the extra work.
Yeah.
Then they have to promote that at the own booth. The other advantage of being a promoted speaker, that's not a keynote which specifically selected, but part of the whole marketing plan where we tweet about these featured speakers are coming, also with the eye to diversity and so on, that speaker also gets included. So then it's important that the sponsor also sells a really good speaker that knows about the topic. Because usually if you see those presentations in conferences, it's just marketing bullshit. Sorry for the blunt word.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I also added another sponsorship tier that we've been talking about in previous calls, which was if we want to have a separate training day, we could actually offer a sponsor you know, like the same equivalent as a gold level sponsor to run the whole training day and say, we'll promote this as the Mauticon training day and you deliver all of the training. You provide the platform, you provide the courses, we'll provide the people, you know.
And what that training be for, if not Mautic?
So I'm thinking like someone like OS Training who are doing lots of Mautic training stuff could run 2 or 3 workshops over a day. Learn Mautic, learn development with Mautic, supercharge your marketing automation, whatever. Bit like they do at DrupalCon when they have the training sessions the day before and you sign up for a workshop.
And so with DrupalCon, is that's also in the hand of one company?
No, that's depends on what you see as a company. European one is tiered for 3 years to an event organizing company. So the answer to that part is yes. In the US, it is under the Drupal Association Inc., which is an NGO, but it's operated like a company. So the answer could be yes, could be no. Hard to answer.
Okay, it's not a commercial company anyway.
No, it's an interesting concept, but Anyway, from the training point of view, and selling that and organizing that is always a hard one.
Yeah.
If people have to pay 350 euros or something to participate.
Yes.
We had like 4 with a lot of luring. We had 4 or 5 offerings of companies that want to do it. And then at Drupal Europe, I think 2 or 3 happened, actually, because of attendance as well as offering and paying and giving.
Okay, I suggest we leave this.
If you flip it and you say, okay, for the post Mauticon day, we have a sponsor that just puts 4,000 or 5,000 euros, and then it is facilitated bottom up from people that want to give a workshop, but it's branded in that way via the sponsor. It's much easier. Because then people don't have to go over like, okay, I have to pay 300 euros to get this course. Do I want it or not? And still, the sponsors as well as others can facilitate workshops or in-depth sessions, hands-on, and so on.
We can park this and decide later. It's not a high priority, I think.
No,
but
it's a really good idea to do something the next day.
Yeah.
Due to all the time zones and so on.
Yeah, we were thinking actually the 3.2 release date is due to be the 23rd of November and the release freeze is the 15th of November. So we were actually thinking about pushing the release freeze back so that we can do the release freeze after Mauticon and have a sprint after Mauticon. Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, there were both ideas to have the day before and the day after Mauticon for a sprint and or a seminar thing. So in the context of sponsorships, we all see this as an extra sponsorship package. So if we have that day, we not only look for someone who gives us a pile of money, but also does all the work for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's more or less independent. If we decide to do that later, we can add it later. It would be best if we can do it now, but it is not really competing with the other sponsorship options, because most sponsors, potential sponsors, would not be able or motivated to do that kind of thing.
It's quite a specific sponsor plan, so I think it would be it would be nice to actually have it as an offering. So we could go to people like OS Training or like other training providers and say, we have this opportunity. Are you interested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we might do is just add that tier, say seminar sponsor, and just describe broadly what we have in mind, and then say, okay, click all. Right? Not put a price tag on it, or not put any requirements on it, but really be happy if somebody is interested, and then talk that talk.
Yeah.
And that also is easy for us if we want to now write up the sponsorship PDF. We don't have to do too much hard work.
Yeah.
Or don't need many decisions. Okay. Shall we get back to the actual value items?
I'd like to add one little thing. So that means that in the call for papers, we would also allow to organize workshops by anyone.
No.
No. Okay.
No, we offer sessions and lightning talks. Sessions be 30 minutes plus 10 minutes Q&A, and lightning talks 5 minutes. Those are the two options that you can choose when you submit a paper. Oh, session, whatever. Okay, so at what level would we put advertising in the intermissions? So like I mentioned in a bridging video, whatever. Would that be everyone? Would that be silver and above? We haven't got much in the silver tier at the moment.
Yeah. I think it should be silver. Are we going from top to bottom? No. Are we? No.
I'm doing it in a bit of a haphazard way. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. I'd like to discuss a logo and link on conference website. And an email. So yeah, let's leave the emails out for a second. That's more like social media mentions to me. But logo and link on conference websites is visibility and is SEO. So I think that's quite valuable. It should not necessarily be given to everyone.
Well, the downside of not giving it to everyone is that you're not showing all of the sponsors you have, and I think like you want to show that we have a lot of sponsors supporting the event.
Okay, and then we show the logo, but not do the backlink for the bronze, for instance.
I don't know if you can do that even on Hey Summit. I think it just comes up with the logos and the links.
Oh, that's stupid. But we can do HTML, can't we?
Yeah, you could build out your page on HTML, but there's a sponsors feature which puts it into all the event emails, and it puts all the information in automatically.
Email's no problem. It's just about the website.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is there's a sponsors feature in Hey Summit which shows them on the website and puts them in the emails automatically.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you can configure that to not show the link. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, okay, but we can just not use that building block on the website. We can just come up with our own.
Yeah, that's true. We could do, yeah.
I don't want to create too much hassle, but I think it's a huge difference in value if you do have the backlink or not.
Yeah.
This is really totally new for me. I've never seen a sponsor without an image and a link. I think it's like de facto standard to have. Usually the bronze ones are a lot smaller than the gold ones, of course. But yeah.
Doesn't matter to Google.
No, but it does matter in terms of the visibility for the sponsor.
I know, of course, yeah.
There is the option to have when you become a sponsor in Hey Summit, you can be a whole event main sponsor, and you can be a per category sponsor. So you could divide it up like that, maybe, and then have the main sponsors being the ones that are shown everywhere on the site, and then the lesser sponsors are category-based sponsors. Yeah, if a sponsor is marked as a main sponsor, rather than linked to a specific category, they will be listed on the landing page and also in the footer of each email sent out from this platform. So
Main
then you still,
sponsors, yeah.
so that's how you could differentiate it, isn't it? Like you have your link on the main landing page, on the main homepage, and whenever we have the sponsors block, but the lesser levels are category specific sponsors. So they have to pick a category and they only show on those categories. Maybe?
Yeah. It's quite convenient to use what the tool offers, right? So why not go that way? Okay.
So what level and above would be main sponsors, do you think?
Silver.
Yeah.
If we really have about 3 silver and 1 gold, was that the numbers? Or 5 silver maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too few.
Right. So then bronze would be category specific sponsor. Okay.
Correct. And with social media shares, mentions, etc. Look at emails. Email mentions are again main sponsors, right?
Yeah, so the emails that go out automatically from the event platform, if we use Hey Summit, would be main sponsors. So that would be silver and gold.
I think that makes sense.
But we would want to mention all of the sponsors on social media at some point. It may be just that we say one mention.
Yeah.
For bronze. Yeah. Social media mention.
And then there's also, of course, the option to mention a bunch at a time.
Yeah.
Or to have an individual post per sponsor. So we should be specific about that.
Yeah, the difficulty with doing one that mentions everyone is that if someone else joins at a later date, you've got to do it again.
Oh, the bunch thing. Okay, yeah. No,
Whereas I'm fine if you're doing them
one
individually.
individual. I'm fine with doing one individual mention of each.
Maybe we do one mention for bronze, 2 mentions for silver, and 3 mentions for gold.
Yeah, unless somebody signs up late, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can put clauses in this to say like, providing you sign up before blah.
Okay, but yeah, for the bullet point list, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? Mention the keynote, logo and sponsor slide.
Yeah, I put that at bronze. Mention in the keynote because I would envisage that as being a thank you to blah 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 all of our sponsors. Yeah, and then just having a static slide in the keynotes that has the sponsors all showing.
Yeah,
I would think that should be silver.
No, I think it's a mix. Like we have the main sponsor, the gold sponsor to be mentioned first, and maybe one slide per gold sponsor. Then maybe the silver sponsors each mentioned by name, and then the 15 or whatever have you bronze sponsors with their logos, but without naming them all.
Okay,
people would be fast asleep otherwise.
So for that one, we could just say logos on the bronze sponsor slide. Yeah. And then, so for silver, we can say logo on an individual slide.
Logo on the silver, logo and mention on the silver sponsors.
Slide.
Yeah.
And mention in the keynote. Yeah.
Yeah. And same for gold.
Yeah. But they'll have their individual slide, yeah?
If you only have one gold, yes.
Yeah.
If we have two gold sponsors, if I was a gold sponsor, I would be okay with having a gold sponsor slide, not an individual slide. Otherwise, you have a really short number one, a really short number two. I rather have the logo visible longer and being mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've got logo on shirt, create leads. That would be everyone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking what Floris said earlier, that for instance the recruiting part is really important for many. We're not able to get that across at any point here. Like if I was a gold or silver sponsor, it would be really fantastic to get that message across exactly at this point. Like maybe next to the logo have some like 10 words or so. We're hiring, or come to our SaaS platform, or book our trainings, or whatever the message is.
That could be as simple as having a sponsors page on the website that's actually a page, rather than just having them all listed. Maybe.
Yeah, but to have that pushed to every attendee as part of the keynote is a really different thing than please go to all the sponsors and find out what they're all about.
One of the things I think I saw was about having VIP private rooms. So that could be something we offer from silver and above, maybe, as a way of people setting up calls with potential clients or potential candidates. But what you're saying is like some way of us being able to share that they are actively looking for.
I'm talking top of funnel, right?
I don't know how might we be able to achieve that. Any ideas?
In Jitsi, it's easy.
What?
Making that is easy in Jitsi. You just create a room, apply the password.
Oh, you're back to the
enable
VIPs.
The waiting room, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was all about pushing the information actively to the attendees.
Announcement in the platform when you demoed that this morning, Floris, you were able to send an announcement, weren't you?
Yeah. But you usually use that for coffee breaks, lunch, and we're now starting again with this in this session.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't nag too much with commercial outings, specifically while other sessions are running. Because it will go bloop in your screen and you have to click it away.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
So that's, not for commercial outings. It's just for if there's some calamities or the lunch is over or coffee break starts or whatever.
Yeah, maybe if we really, I mean, it's I don't know. I never thought about this before, and I don't have any example in mind, or I never observed that consciously elsewhere. But if just shooting from the hip, if we allow every gold or silver sponsor to give us a single line that we place next to their logo, like a quotation, like European-based SaaS hosting or SaaS services, or whatever they want to get across, and put that line in a unobtrusive, uniform font and design next to each logo. If I was a sponsor, I would find that very helpful. Or you come to our whatever, go to a free demo in the booth, or book a slot in a VIP room and whatever. I don't know. Some sort of call to action, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you could have.
yeah.
Do you mean on the website?
No, I mean on the slide in the keynote.
Okay.
So it's maybe it's. I'm making this up, but if we really have only one gold sponsor, then we would say, okay, we thank our gold sponsor, which is Web Mechanic, and they offer SaaS for Mautic and trainings, etc., across Europe. So go check them out. Also, we do thank our silver sponsors, which are XYZ, and then you see the slides, and they have a written tagline under the logo of their choice. So we are hiring, we offer trainings, we offer plugins, whatever. And then and also many more sponsors, and we thank all of them. And here's the logos, and that's just the logos and all on one slide. So that would reflect the tiers nicely, and it would give some extra value to gold and to silver.
So for gold, mention in keynote and a one-liner to promote something they are offering. Yeah.
Yeah. A spoken one-liner, so to say, right?
And yeah.
And for silver, a written one-liner.
Yeah, and I've said for silver, mention in keynote and text on slide one-liner to promote something.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, we have to make sure that we do this then. I'm just saying this out loud because if I'm doing this keynote, I'm going to need a script. I will never remember.
It's also part of preparations that you have a standardized slide deck in HTML, PowerPoint, Keynote, and that kind of things that already include these 3 slides for the sponsors.
Yeah.
No, but Ruth is saying she needs to remember to read it out loud for gold, but not for silver.
If I'm doing this, I need to actually literally have a teleprompter with the script, because otherwise I'll forget. Get muddled.
Yeah.
It's like a mental note to self. Okay.
So what do we mention? Oh, the T-shirt, if we had one.
Yeah.
Either it is a T-shirt sponsor or it's gold sponsor, right? We don't want too many on it.
Yeah, again, it depends on the design, really, doesn't it? I'm just looking at what they have for DrupalCon Europe, like what the options are.
What could be design on one side of the T-shirt and the logo on the sleeve, on the back, whatever.
Yeah. They also have things like named rooms.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's something we want to offer. Lead retrieval is only available for Diamond on DrupalCon. Drupal jobs posts where we don't have that kind of facility. Trivia night prizes. So This is still like for a physical event with PDF I've got here. So.
Well, but job listing is not a stupid idea.
We don't have a jobs board, though, do we?
Could be as simple as a little bit of text.
Mautic form.
No, just text with a link or whatever.
The add-ons that they have for DrupalCon are conference t-shirt, so they get 2 tickets and then they get an 8x8 logo on the sleeve of the t-shirts. They charge 7,500 euros for that. Lanyards, 4,000, which is obviously not relevant anymore. Attendee badges not relevant anymore. Photo call. Mobile app announcement, 3 per day at 2,000 euros. And lead retrieval, they charge 500 euros for that.
For what? Say again?
Lead retrieval.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like scanning. You have to scan your badge, which is kind of irrelevant nowadays.
Yeah. The thing which always sells the first in DrupalCon and also gets multiple sponsors is the Women in Drupal event.
Yeah.
It sells cheap, and a lot of companies say, yay.
Yeah. So that might be something that we could offer as a side event, isn't it? The day before, maybe. We have a Women in Mautic channel.
Yep. Yeah, we do have a channel, but if we could make it happen, yes. If it's ending up with 2 people only, that'd be pathetic.
It would, but it might be a nice way to
signal.
Sorry, I just had a message. It might be a nice way to launch that kind of initiative. So we also have the LGBTQIA channel as well that we've recently started. So it could be a diversity group meetup rather than much just better. Women.
Yeah, I like it.
Diversity in Mautic or something. DIM, no, let's not call it DIM. No. It's one of those things, as soon as it comes out your head, you're like, no.
No.
Awesome.
Just what it is, diversity is fine enough.
Mohit, but just to capture the thought, if we really send out things, we might as well send out badges and lanyards just to give a little bit more of conference feeling and some souvenir and so on.
Yeah, but then you should also include a little bit of crayons that anybody can make their individual style with the colors.
Of course.
Now we're getting slightly complicated. There's me thinking, how are we going to source 150 sets of crayons, lanyards, and badges? Damn, my headphone's running out of battery. I'm going to have to go onto speaker.
So where were we coming from? We were talking about t-shirt sponsors, whether we want an extra sponsorship for that or a part of gold sponsor. Oh, are you on speaker?
Yeah, I'm on speaker now.
Okay. Yeah, the sound is just the same, by the way. What's your feeling about t-shirts?
Sorry, what was the question again?
What do we think about t-shirt sponsor? Do we want t-shirts? Do we want to have an extra sponsorship tier for that?
I don't know. I mean, I think I think if you were the gold sponsor, you would want to have your logo on the t-shirt. But maybe that's not a given. I don't know. It also sort of depends on the design, doesn't it? Because if you have some place on the design that you could put logos, then you could say ones on the front of the t-shirt are gold sponsors or gold and silver, and then the arm is t-shirt sponsor or something like that.
I've seen and I've created t-shirts with many logos, or as many as 4 or so. I don't like it too much.
No, me neither. Because it looks a bit untidy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The front
and it really
should be neatly
devaluates
designed
the whole thing.
like this, and the back can have maybe logos, maybe not.
What we could
It
do
also increases the cost to have multiple print areas. That's something else to consider.
That's true. Yeah.
Usually it's due to volume that things get cheap.
Yeah.
So if you make 10 shirts, they're relatively expensive, and if you make a few thousand, they're relatively cheap.
Yeah, but we would be doing this through Spreadshirt, so that's print on demand. Just so you're aware, we are at 3:20, and the website discussion was supposed to start at 3.
Yeah, that's
So
that's us, right?
Is it still not finished, the website?
Okay. So option number 1 is there's no t-shirt sponsor. So it's part of the gold sponsorship package, and it's just a little bit more expensive, probably quite a bit. Option number 2 is with a separate t-shirt sponsorship, and it's only that logo. And option 3 is we have the t-shirt sponsor and the gold sponsor on the t-shirt. And it depends a little bit on the question of how many gold sponsors do we have, do we want?
yeah,
We still have this hypothesis of 1, 3, and many. Maybe we should start by making up our mind on that one.
so have I got that right? Option 1, no sponsor. Option 2,
Oh, no t-shirt.
sponsor. Option 3, gold sponsor plus t-shirt sponsor.
By no sponsor, you mean we have a t-shirt but no logo, or we have no t-shirt?
A t-shirt but no sponsor logo.
Oh, that would be a waste, I think.
Yeah, but it's an option that you just have without a sponsor's logo.
Yeah.
I think it's dependent on whether we get a t-shirt sponsor, isn't it, as well?
Well, if we have a given price for gold, and we don't get a t-shirt sponsor, so we don't get the extra money, then we simply can't afford the t-shirt. If we up the price for gold early up, then that's okay. Or if we do find a t-shirt sponsor, then that's okay too.
Yeah, but the cost of the t-shirt is what we were going to include in the swag bag, right? $30 per person. So so I don't think having one or no sponsor logos is going to affect that, because I think it would still be something that would be covered by a gift card for the store. Because the idea was that we provide the t-shirts and everything is drop shipped, yeah? The swag pack is drop shipped, and we just put a gift card in for our Spreadshirt shop into the drop ship, and people go buy their t-shirt there. So the cost is just going to be the cost of the t-shirt that they choose. We can have like a certain range of t-shirts, so we know roughly what the cost is going to be, and we make sure that the gift card covers the cost plus the postage.
Why are you laughing? I think you lost me.
So you get a gift card for £30.
Yeah, but what question are you trying to answer?
Well, you were saying like if we don't get sponsors, we can't afford to do a T-shirt. We've already factored the cost of the T-shirt into the swag pack per attendee cost. So if we have
in your budget or
in the budget, yeah.
So you say if we have a T-shirt sponsor, that's pure revenue, or
Yeah.
Oh,
From my perspective, or it means we can increase what we spend per attendee on the swag pack. Because at the moment I budgeted $30 per attendee for a swag pack. So you'd probably be looking at a pack of, I don't know, a value of about $20 in the pack itself, plus $5 for their dropship fulfillment per person ish. So if we had a T-shirt sponsor, that could go up to, right, we can afford to spend $40 per person on the swag pack.
So tell me again, we have 150 attendees.
Yeah,
like
if we
ticket sales, free tickets, etc.
So if we had 150 attendees.
No, that's paid tickets, right? So plus we have a lot of free tickets.
Paid tickets, 150. So say we had 200 people in total, of which 150 paid.
Yeah.
That would be $3,000 income from the ticket sales if everyone pays at $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cost for the swag pack would be $4,500. So one gold sponsor will cover the cost of the swag pack if we have it at $30 per person times 150 people. But what I'm saying is if we got a T-shirt sponsor as well, you could increase that potentially.
Okay. So long story short, we do have a T-shirt. We try to get a T-shirt sponsor. If we don't get one, we don't mind.
Yeah. And I think it's like just deciding on what we want the T-shirt to look like and how much we want to advertise and what level of sponsorship we want to entitle people to have on the T-shirt. Because if we went for silver and gold, then that's quite a lot of sponsors, isn't it?
No.
You would be looking at.
Well, okay, so my recommendation would be option 3, I think. My vote.
Gold sponsor plus the T-shirt sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have like the gold sponsor on the arm and the T-shirt sponsor more prominently, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
No, I mean it's again about the cost of multiple places, but we could even have one left and one right.
Yeah.
One on the back, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we need to add a sponsorship package here for the T-shirt sponsor, don't we? I keep forgetting my shift button is in a different place. It's really annoying me. What do we want to charge for a T-shirt sponsor?
$1,500. It's the difference between ticket sales and swag costs. And if somebody wants to be bronze sponsor and T-shirt sponsor, or we would make it 3,000, and it would include bronze.
What do you mean? Sorry, by include bronze?
Yeah, you would get all the value that a bronze sponsor has. Or let's say T-shirt sponsorship is an upgrade to any other sponsorship. How's that?
Yeah, you could have that so that if they're an existing sponsor, they have to upgrade to be on the T-shirt as well, as long as it's not a gold sponsor that chooses it because they're already on the T-shirt.
Yeah. So a bronze sponsor could upgrade and be bronze plus T-shirt. That would be a total of 3,000. Silver could upgrade to silver plus T-shirt. That would be 4,500.
Uh-huh.
Does it make sense?
I think so. So on the T-shirt, we'll have the gold sponsors and the T-shirt sponsors. If we don't get a T-shirt sponsor, it'll just be the gold sponsor. Am I right? Would you think that's how we would?
Yeah.
Okay. Logo on T-shirt. Yeah. Okay.
And you just said the plural twice. T-shirt sponsors. Have you put in a quantity 1?
Yeah. Do you think we should have more than one T-shirt sponsor?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the idea was smart. We just said that if a sponsor wants to have its logo on the T-shirt, they pay the extra fee. You can, in theory, have the maximum amount of sponsors which are there minus gold as separate T-shirt sponsors.
Yeah, but if I pay these $1,500 and end up being 1 out of 10, then it's not worth the money. So I really want to know what I'm paying for.
Well, I think it is worth money.
Exclusivity is very important.
You're going to have
Yeah,
100 people wearing it, aren't you? So it is worth the money to be associated with the event in a long-standing way. Yeah, I see both sides of that.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to be greedy all the time. It comes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think making it exclusive, maybe make it 2, but really put a small number on it. Also motivates people to act now and not wait.
I guess it also depends on how we display the logos, doesn't it? Because if we were to have them in like a bubble on the back of the T-shirt, that's very different to having them on the main display on the front. So, and that's something I would expect a sponsor would want to know before they're spending 1,500 quid on. Well, they might not care. It might just be, I have this marketing budget. Here you go, which is great.
Yes, yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
Just to give you an example, it's a T-shirt from earlier this year. It's from an event, and we did have multiple sponsors. So
yeah,
that's on the back. Doesn't look too nice, I think. It's possible, but it's different.
Yeah. I think it looks quite smart, but.
So what do we do?
I don't know. I'm undecided. I think anyway, you're going to have 2 logos on it. You're going to have the gold sponsor and you're going to have the T-shirt sponsor, aren't you? So you're already going to have 2.
Yeah, we can't really decide much on the design and the print now. I would say let's just agree on a number, like a maximum of 1 or 2 or 3 T-shirt sponsors, and then decide all the rest later once we have the design. Anybody got a gut feeling?
Well, I think if you're going to put it on the back like that, you'd want them in a triangle. So you'd want a maximum, I think, of 3 if you didn't want to go crazy. So you'd have the gold sponsor, the T-shirt sponsor, and maybe 1 other. So you could have maybe 2.
So gold sponsor and 2 T-shirt. Okay, yeah, got it.
I have no idea if we're actually going to sell these. Like, I genuinely don't know if people will go for it. I think they will because it's valuable if you run Mautic-related business. But, you know, it's a bit, first time, you know.
Okay,
and it's a different use case than on-site. On-site is a different use case than online with T-shirts.
Yeah.
On sites, you want to have it delivered and everybody wear it with a scanning fuss thing that people do, and they're working on it, and then everybody's wearing it, and then it works really well. On the other hand, it is a nice thing to have afterwards and wear.
Yeah. But I
So it
think
can be really valuable.
if we're drop shipping the swag packs and we get our act together, most people will be able to get their t-shirts before the event runs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
I
I
think,
think if we can get this through fairly quickly, get the visuals designed and figure out our sponsors, and we'll have to say you have to have sponsored by this date if you want to be a t-shirt sponsor, because we'll have to
Sure.
put the
produced. Yeah.
shirts up, won't we?
Yeah. And I think the real value of the t-shirt sponsorship is with those t-shirts that are worn after the event. Because during the event, there are other options for visibility. But if it's a nice t-shirt and you wear it 10 times in your agency or wherever,
Yeah.
then it keeps it gets visibility across other people.
Yeah. For sure.
So it does work. So if we now say what you just said, we offer a maximum of 2 t-shirt sponsors, as opposed to we offer only 1. Can that be negative? Could it be that anyone is not signing up for t-shirt sponsor just because there might be another one?
Don't understand, sorry.
So what could, I mean, 3, the argument against having 3 would be that it's too many logos, it looks cluttered. But what was the risk in taking, or in 2, or in offering 2? Might that shy away the first one?
In case they don't know who else
maybe,
would be a sponsor, do you mean? Like they don't know who their logo would appear with?
yeah, or maybe they say, oh, that's not valuable enough. If it was exclusive to me, then I'd pay for it. But 1 out of 2 plus 1.
Well, if it's exclusivity they want, then the gold package is what they're after, really, isn't it? Because that
maybe
I
that's
think maybe
gone.
we make it clear that the t-shirt sponsors are on the back or something like that, so that the gold sponsor is prominently displayed in the. I don't know.
I guess we will not want to talk about that early up, about the non-existing design.
Yeah. And as if by magic, Nico arrives. He heard the word design and was like, woohoo, I'm here.
I think he's not hearing us at all.
He's not listening.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not listening. Scared him away.
Okay, so my gut feeling is let's go with 2.
2. Okay. And lanyard and badges? What do we think about that?
Hey, that was just my gut feeling. What about you?
Yeah, I think 2 sponsors is fine. We may not get them, you know?
That's fine. Fine. Yep.
In which case it would just be the gold sponsor. So, but I do think it's good to offer value adds. Like someone might not get the gold because we've already sold it, so they might go for a silver plus, you know?
Yep.
From a budget point of view, 3. From a t-shirt point of view, 0. I'd rather pay the 20 euros myself and have the cool t-shirt without the logos. So that could be an option when there is no a t-shirt sponsor, that we have a cool design anyway, and people just pay the 30 euros extra on the ticket, and they get the coupon to ship it.
Okay, from the design point of view, I'd say let's take 1 t-shirt sponsor plus a gold sponsor and put it on the sleeves, because that's the one thing that I like best.
Yeah. So that would mean only 1 t-shirt sponsor was available.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if we have 1, would that be more expensive than having 2? So if we go to 2 and lower the price to 1,000, then the financial difference is really tiny. So let's go with 1, keep it at 1,500, and be good.
Okay, sold. So I'm just conscious of time because we're supposed to be 40 minutes into our website discussion. And I have to go at 4. I've got a call at 4.
Okay.
Drupal working group call, in fact.
I see. Okay. So social media main sponsor. Oh, that's yeah.
We didn't talk about lanyards and badges. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah. I'd say if we have spare time and spare motivation, let's do it. And spare money. If not, then not. No need to decide upon it now.
Yeah, the only thing is if we want it to go into whatever dropship tool we have, we need to be able to provide it when we start shipping stuff.
Of course. Yeah. But it's not like I would put this as an extra sponsor value, so ignore for now. Virtual booth. How about we do everything else offline and move on to the website?
Sorry. Several late nights and early starts this week. It's been a tough week. Where's the website part of this document? Oh, I don't know if we have a website section, do we? Tooling, maybe.
No. Are you creating one?
Yeah, under tooling.
Okay.
Should I inform Mohit about it?
He said he was going to be back in half an hour.
Oh, okay.
And that was at like 25 past. He was just grabbing dinner.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. When we say website, I just switched this to H2. Were we going to discuss the website from a technical perspective or from a content perspective?
Both, I think.
Very different.
Because we need to decide on, we have to decide whether we're going to continue using HSummit, and if we are, then we need to talk about the content structure, what information we need, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, what is the status in the tooling discussion?
We were talking about, the same kind of conversations. If we use Bitly, we can connect into it basically with any kind of API tool, and there are various available. So it doesn't really matter where the information comes from. The ticketing we're going to be doing on Open Collective. My question was, do we need HSummit if we are doing the ticketing on Open Collective? We could do the session planning and everything on Sessionize, which can be embedded into a page. And if all of the event itself is taking place on Bitly, then we don't really need anything more than a couple of static pages for the actual website, because we don't need to do like the schedule planning and stuff. That would all be done on Bitly or.
Well, I mean, scheduled planning. If we want to have the tracks on the website, would we just link to something else or have an iframe? Or?
Yeah, you embed from Sessionize. You can do an embed which includes all the sessions, the tracks. You can do different views so people can sort the information. That was my question, is like, do we actually still need this tool? Because when we were looking at right at the start, we didn't really have any other tools that we were going to use. We were going to have videos done on Zoom, Things have moved on.
And the Sessionize, they can be translated within everyone's own time zone, or do we need to write some supercode, some glue code for that? The embedded stuff.
I wouldn't be able to answer that, but I can add you so you can have a poke around in the embedding.
because that's something that's always confusing me, specifically with UK times and with Greece times, that I'm always 1 hour too early or 1 hour too late.
Yeah. Let me have a look and see what it says.
Sessionalized features show times in attendees' local time zone.
Perfect. Then we can just embed that somewhere. There's no problem.
Yeah. You got there before me. Yeah, I created one earlier just to poke about, but obviously we haven't got any sessions, so I can't see what it looks like with the embed. But so my question was, if we want to be able to do more, not restricted by what we have in Hey Summit, and given that we don't necessarily need the architecture underneath it anymore because we have tools to do that, would it be more simple to just have some, like a basic Drupal site or a basic something or other, static pages that had the information, and we pulled that information in from the relevant places and connect it all up with API glue?
Yep. We've done conferences just in GitHub pages because we didn't have time to make a proper Drupal website.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. If we do use Hey Summit, then we are done. Just need the content. If we really feel like setting up something else and then coming up with designs and etc., that we need someone to spend time on that again.
Yeah, and in general,
we can go with some boilerplate design templates in Drupal, and no big deal. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just want to save extra overhead.
Yeah.
I fully agree not starting a event website from scratch, because that always burns people and never gets finished on time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not wedded to using Hey Summit. It was just a tool I had available that I've used for other conferences, but I haven't had the technology that we have available here in those other conferences. So, so that it was like it was fine for that use purpose. That's why I'm just coming back to this, like, if we actually do we actually need it? Is it going to be helpful? Or can we just use all the tools that we're using already and just have some very simple pages that embeds that information? And for me, that's over to the technical.
Honestly, I have no clue at all. If there's a scenario that you guys that are, you folks that are much deeper involved with the tooling, if there's a scenario that we are sure is going to work, and that we can handle from the workload side, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Do we know that scenario already? Do you have a ready scenario in mind, Ruth?
In my mind, the way it would work is we embed the Open Collective event on a page. You choose your ticket that you want to buy, and you go through and pay on that process. That sends your email address and contact details, everything like that, over to Vietly, so that your account is populated there already automatically. And somehow the sessions that we have on Sessionize are also pushed over to Vietly, so they're all there and ready to go. And from my memory of Hopin, before the event, you could go in and choose the sessions you wanted to attend and build your schedule. I don't know if that works like that in Vietly. I don't know.
Yeah, and then on the spot, on time, it breaks in Hopin. It has difficulty showing the now and the next.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Vertly, it's non-existent. So we have to embed something from Sessionize just in a page. It's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Or have some capacity to actually make it like the now and the next dynamically appear.
Yeah.
Either way, it will just work because people are used to like seeing this, planning what they actually want to see, and then getting lost in the hallway track after all.
So from my perspective, I think it would be fairly simple in terms of what you would need to create. You would need some kind of themey layouty type thing, but then that would be dependent on the design. And I think you could probably just grab an off-the-shelf something that does the majority of what we want and then just configure it. But you would need someone to do that, definitely. Depends on how much level of configuration is needed. But all the other tools we're using have the ability to embed and connect via API. So all of those tools should be able to push the information between each other.
Yeah, the thing is, we need to have like somewhere middle September proof of concept that actually all works.
Yes, we would need to. And
so
actually,
when do we want to have the website online?
I think no later than the beginning of October when we announce sessions.
Mm.
Because I think it's great having a website up before you've got the schedule and inviting people to buy their tickets before you've announced the schedule. But realistically, I don't think you're going to get much traction until people know what's actually coming.
Mm.
So I'm not sure how, that would be my thought. And given that we're at like the 27th of August, that gives you like a month to build it and get it working and tested.
Mm. Yeah, the only thing is that for potential speakers, it would be helpful to have some information, some substance somewhere. And this brings us back to the preliminary website.
Well, the halfway house, you could leave the landing page we have up for Hey Summit and put the information on there. And then when we're ready to launch the real website, we just change the DNS to point at the new website. So that might be an option and also Hey Summit has a box where you can put your email address in to get notified when we do launch the event. So you're generating a pre-advice list as well.
Okay. That also gives us time to refine the content of the website. So basically, the tasks now are bring up the Drupal website, connect everything and test, and populate the Drupal website with content and design.
I've got pigeons. I can hear pigeons.
Yes, me. I'll mute.
That's all right. No, I actually have a baby seagull that crash landed in my garden, so I'm having to nursemaid a baby seagull at the moment.
Nice.
Cute.
Not when they start squeaking at 3 a.m. Off-the-shelf template.
And if things don't get custom, it shouldn't be that hard to task that just be mentioned.
Mm. So, oh, sorry, Ruth.
Right, so if I say POC by mid-September. On 2nd of October with schedule. Community team meeting in 5 minutes.
Who's that? Community team?
It's just popped up on my calendar.
Oh, if we had one today, that would have been over lunch, right?
Yeah.
In my calendar.
Okay.
Funny.
Is there anything else? So who's going to take these on? I mean, I can set up Open Collective. And Specialized we can't really do much with until we have content, I don't think. We can maybe set up a demo event and use a demo just to do the POC.
Mm-hmm.
Who's able to take on creating a site and applying the branding? I have no clue about Drupal, so this is definitely not on me.
50% of the people here know something about Drupal.
We could do type of 3.
Let's not have a war of the CMSs. I don't mind.
I just can't help.
But someone needs to own it and build it and do it.
I think Nico is still not listening, is he? Oh.
Listening. Oh.
So let's flip a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have the time to build a.
Is that not something that we can just create it with one click from Acquia?
I don't know. I don't know. I can find out.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. If it's a bigger deal, let's get back to Hey Summit, right?
Yeah.
Pay some money, we're done.
Okay. I'll put that for me. Are you able to look into the integration for us with Bitly and see to make sure that we can push people over from Open Summit and Open Collective and
Yeah, like I discussed this morning, the basic push with CSV is already possible.
yeah.
And for integrating the API, I'm currently collecting resources just to do Weirdly development faster than just me.
Uh-huh.
And that can be an integral part of that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the tooling. I'm going to have to bounce in a couple of minutes. So are you okay to continue talking about the structure and what you need in terms of the content and blah, blah, blah? Eki?
We can do that or just take it all back
Offline.
to offline.
Okay.
You know, what I'd love to do next is take all these things and reshuffle the Jira board to reflect the actual tasks.
Okay.
So I think that's most important. And then including the various to-dos that we identified today. And then we really need to follow up and then make sure that we're acting on them and get things done now.
Yeah. Yeah. For my part, I'll be around for the rest of the day because today's a late day, so I'll be working till 8. So
that's it. It's a bit of a shame that we had 50% of the people who attended this morning, not really involved in the actual discussions, and that's partly, or that's for various reasons, but for some reason it's just us Europeans who are the same, like as always. The others, okay, Nick didn't have the time. Uwe, I don't know. Toby starting with all the technical issues.
yeah, because Ruben
Avinash,
said he'd be back this evening, didn't he? And
Yep.
he'd be able to
In 1 hour, 6 p.m.
yeah, 5:36 or something, and then even offering to spend 3 hours every single week.
Yeah.
So if we could find specific things to give to Avinash, to Ruben, or even to Radu, maybe.
Ruben can do the website. If he has 3 hours a day, that's a lot of time for making a Drupal website in 1 week, a month. He's the guy.
He's a Drupal guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's also a Drupal guy. Yeah, sure. He's the man. 3
We're
hours
taking
a day.
over, Mautic.
I have to bounce for a meeting, folks, but I'll catch up with you afterwards. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Let's give him the topic. It's great. He's a Drupal guy. He can do it 3 hours a day, 5 days per week.
A week.
I don't think that's what he said.
I think he said it like this. But yeah, I think he would be a good choice for it.
Let's see if he's
YouTube
online.
crack. Yeah, just give him the task and.
Oh, you're right.
Now nag about that. No, I will pop up in an hour.
Yeah, what else should we do now?
I'm currently working on the briefing for the design, so yeah, I have something to do and writing it in a document, so we can also go over it, or someone can just read it, and if it's okay, but I understand. So,
You know, I'd first take the time to bring the Jira up to date, and then the other thing is I'd try to make some progress on the sponsorship packages to finalize what we started today. I think we're really close.
I think everyone has something to do. Do we have another meeting, or is it done for today and we see in Slack?
It's now 1700. I don't know. What did Ruth say? How long is she going to take?
I don't know. I haven't got this info.
I don't think she. If we say we do a brief recap in an hour from now, like 1800 CEST.
Okay.
Is it okay for everyone? Are you still around then, or?
I think so.
Then let's do another 5 to 10 minutes at 1800.
In 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I put that to the Slack channel.
Thanks.
Later.
Good. Don't forget to stop the recording.
I'm doing that.
Or I do it.
Oh yeah, you need to do
it. I'm not admin, so I cannot do it.
No.